Growing up, my mom used to tell me that you will never lose the Mandate of Heaven in 1.31 Leviathan patch. So I said, wow, ma'am, that's really weird because I didn't know you play EU4. But guess what? I did find a way to lose the Mandate of Heaven, and I'm gonna show you how today. My name is Ludi, and today we'll be playing Ming, the strongest nation in EU4 with the largest debuff, the Mandate of Heaven. Iron Man compatible, and let's do this. By the way, if we get 5,000 likes, I'm gonna do a part 2 that shows the 1500s from Ming's perspective. Ming is really a very special nation. It is extremely powerful, but it does have the debuff of being the Celestial Emperor. Essentially, this government reform that we start off with might seem like a really overpowered government reform, but the reality is that it actually really limits our expansion and comes alongside with a ton of horrible disasters that can literally crush our nation and turn us into 100 different smaller nations. Obviously, the first thing we'll do is go to the estates, give out the +1 admin and military, oversight by the clergy, supremacy over the crown, and the -25 advisor cost for all 3 estates. With exclusive trade rights and private trade fleet, we cannot give the Diplo +1 because we only start with 26% crownlands. So we're going to be selling titles for 2,000 ducats. And before we seize anything, we're going to develop the province of Wuling. We will have to wait for 1 month before we do that. We're going to get some advisors in the meanwhile. You can definitely afford +3 advisors. They're going to be insanely cheap and your economy is amazing. You want to kill your heir, and after you've done so, you want to give out the prestige. 1 month has passed and we can develop Wuling for 33 mana. That is insane. We're going to use our production and our military mana. We can also upgrade this to level 2, making it even cheaper after we've developed it. After we've done this, we can seize our crownlands. And one more thing we're going to do right after this is we're going to give the patronage of the arts that grants us 25 prestige, offsetting the fact that we killed off our horrible starting heir. We have a tributary system from the beginning in which a lot of neighboring nations are our tributaries, and that contributes towards us getting more mandate. Mandate is either gonna give you a lot of great bonuses if you're above 50 mandate, or if you're below 50 mandate, you lose everything. 50% debuff in your manpower. Your armies take 50% more shock and fire damage. That basically means your armies are made out of paper and you produce 50% less goods, which means your economy is gonna be horrible. The most important thing and the easiest thing to offset this is to have 3 stability. So once you're able to get that 3 stability, as it's going to be vital, we can do an edict because we do have quite a little bit of meritocracy, and because we're going to be fighting quite a little bit, I recommend you get the infantry combat ability. We can also get the merchant navy for extra ship trade power, and we will also focus on admin points since we want to unlock the 5th admin tech as soon as possible. Another extremely important point is that you want to have forts covering your entire nation. So use the starting money you got from the estates to build a few extra forts. Once you have devastation in your nation, it's going to lower the mandate. So you want to quickly get rid of devastation. The easiest way to get rid of devastation is to have forts. Also, instead of having forts in farmlands, try to have them in mountains, highlands, and easy to defend areas. I recommend that you organize your armies in 20 unit army sizes with 16 infantry and 4 cavalry. You should start with around 100,000 troops, so you got more than enough troops to deal with anything. You should declare your war on Corchin at the very start, and you can co-belligerate whatever allies they might have. In my case, they're allied to Yeren. The best case scenario is if they're allied to Oirats, but because they're not allied to Oirats, we're gonna have to separately declare war on the Oirats. Make sure you also get a spy network on Corchin as well as the Oirats. Another thing you can do is make your starting a ruler a general, because if you don't, once you do go to war with the Oirats, it is going to become a general via event and it's going to have really bad pips. So better to just make him a general like this. Also, because there's a chance that he might die. You can also get a second general for your other armies. Also, I recommend that you change the tribute with your tributaries and you ask them for admin points if you can. If you cannot, ask them for manpower, since you have more than enough economy to not need any money from your vassals. I highly recommend you don't fight battles in mountain provinces like this one here, but in the case of Ming, it doesn't matter. They don't have enough troops to hold us off, and we can literally just send trooper after trooper until they're all long dead. Also, take note that that once you are in the War for the Celestial Empire, you get 0.05 extra mandate growth. So for as long as this war with Korchin is going on, you're taking a lot of benefits from it. Looks like Yaren's in for a little bit of trouble here, and it's not a stack and Vipin, but it will be a very, very soon, sir. Look at this. No more Yareni around here. We also got actually a really cool event here that lets us get either 1 stability and 5 meritocracy or 50 prestige. We still need the stability more than anything else. So I'm going to stab to 2, and with this is going to be stab 3, which means that my mandate is going up by another 0.06 from stability. So we've pretty much finished the war with Yaren. It's actually been over for a while, but I've been delaying the peace deal for a few reasons. First off, we're going to make Yaren our vassal here, not tributary, but vassal. And for the nation of Korchin, we're actually going to take quite a little bit of land here. We're taking a buttload, and we're not making them our tributary, at least not yet. This is more than enough for us. Because we've taken this land, we managed to increase our overall crownlands, but not by too much, sadly. So we are reliant on seizing land in a few months. Remember, after you take this newly acquired land, to make it full cores, and you can also concentrate development if you need to. Very important is that you keep a fleet on hunting pirates in each of your 3 starting nodes. That means 1 fleet for Canton, 1 for Hangzhou, and 1 for Beijing. Not just in 1 node, otherwise pirates are going to start devastating the coastline of your beloved nation. I've also finished most of the forts, and now we're lowering devastation in our provinces a lot faster. That being said, we will be attacking the nation of Voirat, and we are going for a conquest, not a forced tributary war, as we don't want to make them our tributary just yet. We want to destroy their nation and make sure their neighbors kill them off. Once you start the war with the Oirats, you're going to get the event, the Tumu Crisis, where if the Oirats actually manage to defeat the army that is led by your emperor, then they get a massive boost and you get a massive debuff, killing your mandate. So you really don't want to make your starting emperor a general. It's as simple as that. If he's not a general in any army, he cannot get captured, and because of that, the Tumu Crisis event cannot follow up. Well, what do you know, our starting leader is now dead and we got somebody completely different. We also got a nice event here that can give us some meritocracy, which is great. And we are in the process of finishing off the Manchurian tribes before we focus mainly on the Oirats. Thank God we managed to siege down Sarik Yogir. This is the most dangerous of them all. So without Sarik Yogir, we're safe now, boys. It is more of a pain than anything else to have this nation around here. We've absolutely crushed this entire coalition here, and we're gonna make Yaren great again, as we're gonna give all of these lands to Yaren. If you thought this was a Ming guide, you are wrong. This is actually secretly a Yaren guide. It is Yaren's problem that they have to deal with all the overextension too. And when it comes to Oirats, I'm gonna take a few lands from them. This looks like a beautiful border between me and the Oirat nation, and that is exactly what I'm going for here, nothing else. I am a peaceful Ming, if not a benevolent Ming, as they like to say. Ah yes, my tributary eunuchs have arrived. What a lovely day. I'm also going to pay off the debt of Yaren. I'm going to make them a little bit more loyal by improving relations with them first off. I have not been doing so. Going to get our diplomats back from here. We got another claim for future wars against them. And we are getting also a claim on Haikshi here for when the time comes. Also want to point out that if you want to take extra tribute from your tributary nations, you can do so easily. You can also take prestige from your tributary nations by demanding artifact. Skipping a few years into the future, we've set our main armies here to kill off the rebels whenever they start popping off, as we are going to be getting quite a few rebels. So assign your army strategically all around your country. We've also managed to get our Tech 5 here for admin, and that means we get our first idea set, and I recommend that you go for exploration exploration ideas, as we will be exploring and establishing our very own colonies very soon. We can also get the military tech, but because we don't have Renaissance and we're getting the tech penalty from that, we're gonna spawn Renaissance. Our cheapest province right now is Huion here. We've set the Encourage Development Edict. We've also taken the Expand Palace Bureaucracy from our decrees, and we will be deving this up with all of our available spare points until we actually manage to spawn in the institution here. As you can see, every time we develop this, we get a little bit more Renaissance until eventually it will reach 100% and start spreading to the rest of our country. We've managed to get our first colonist, and we are establishing our colony in the Taiwanese island here. We're gonna kill off the natives so that we don't get any rebellions whenever our troops are not around in this area. You might have to do this twice, as they are a little bit stubborn, not gonna lie. And we're also gonna assign our explorer fleets here to continuously explore and expand the known maps of our empire, whilst at the same time we're gonna be getting some claims on the nation of Tondo and the other one right next to them here. Essentially, we're gonna be attacking these guys. We've canceled their tributary status a few years back, and at the end of this year we can attack them as well, so we're gonna have to get our invasion force ready for that. Hey, there you go, free prestige too. And it's time for war. Let's go, boys. Attack these guys. We're gonna co-belligerate Madias, and we're gonna send our troopers here for a little bit of a marine action, let's say. I also recommend you grant new world charters to colonize provinces a lot faster, as this gives 5% settler chance and 10 overall settler increase. Kill off these guys here, and that's the end of these boyos, and assign our explorer to explore even more lands. Time to exterminate the nation of Madias also, and we can get a new idea to Noise. This is going to make it faster to colonize. Time to say bye-bye, Madias. Your lands are going to be fully annexed by us. So I've had the Mandate of Heaven for quite a little bit at 100, and I haven't taken any celestial reforms. Why is that? Well, because I'm going to get rid of the Mandate of Heaven, that's why. But if you plan on not getting rid of the worst government reform ever, then you have to do the celestial reforms, and this is what happens once you do it. You lose 1 stability and 70 mandate. That is a lot, because 1 stability you got to get back, and 70 mandate means that now my troops are horrible. They take 20% more fire and shock damage, so until I reach 50 mandate, I am a very weak target. We're ready to peace out Madias. We're gonna fully annex them, a booyah, and now we're gonna do the same with these other guys here. Avec le bye-bye, and with our claims now in this other nation, we can attack them also, co-belligerate, and kill off everybody here. Essentially, with this one war, we can basically take care of the entirety of the Philippines, as well as this nation of Ternate here. Ah yes, the brave Filipino guerrilla warfares against the might of the Chinese Empire. Alright, let's go kill off the rest of the people here. Hey, this is great. Tainan is our first full colony, and now we can start colonizing into the south. We can peace out Maguindanao, and we're gonna fully annex them and start coring them up now. We're gonna do the same to pretty much all of the other guys in this area, including Butuan and the nation of Cebu. Rejoice, people, you are now fully a part of the greatest empire in the history of mankind. We've also pretty much destroyed their entire fleets. Surprisingly, they rebuilt some ships, but I have basically double the amount of ships that I have because I've been collecting Filipino ships like Pokemon. I guess we can take Manila as well, Dariago, and the last of them here will fall soon. Before we take that, however, we also need to take Sulu and Ternate, both of which I'm gonna actually annex. All the sieges are done. That means we can fully annex Ternate, and that also means that we can get a claim on Tidor and attack Tidor right now. This is gonna bring in Makassar, which is actually perfect, as I want Makassar to be in this war. Before we send our army to Makassar, we're gonna kill the natives in this province, and afterwards, which is right now, it is time to Makassarius. We've also pieced out Sulu and, of course, the last of the Filipinos, Tondo here is gonna be pieced out too. No coalition at all, and Dorado, now we have all of the Philippines within our grasp, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna piece out the nation of Makassar. We're taking the 3 top provinces since we didn't co-belligerate them, so that essentially means that we cannot take all of their provinces. We're gonna do the same with these guys here. We're actually gonna take all of their provinces and essentially fully annex them now. I'm also gonna be building a few more workshops around the country to improve my economy even more, and of course core up all of the newly added provinces. Seram is halfway there, can't wait for them to finish. In the meanwhile, we're just gonna be chilling and killing off more rebels. We've also managed to get our second idea slot unlocked. I'm gonna go for expansion so I can colonize even faster. The colony of Seram is doing well enough without a colonist. We've abandoned Sula and we started getting a brand new colony in Australia. Real estate empire incoming. And if you're Australian, you probably know what I'm talking about. We managed to get a second colonist, which means we can start colonizing the province of Yos Sudarso. And at the same time, we can kill off the rest of the natives in this area. Let's go. Annexation time, boys. Annexation time. Let's kill off their fleet. Surprisingly, they actually have some ships around here. Holy schnapples. Hey, we can get some prestige as well from this. Nice. Another day, another claim, and this time it's the nation of Yolnu. Hoopa-doopa-doo, let's go to Yolnu. We also can piece out these other guys here, and even bring back the diplomats that we really don't need anymore. Boom-a-loomy-dam, these guys are going to give us 2 provinces, nice, and that essentially means we got 3 provinces in Australia. We just need to core this up. We don't need to colonize this whatsoever, actually, and another 2 provinces from these guys, actually 3 provinces from them, means that we have enough provinces after we piece them out to make a colony in Australia. We can get another guy here. The colonial range is actually really great since this means we can start exploring more parts of the world earlier than we otherwise would be able to. Look at how sexy the Australian sprites are though, like legit. I love the war paint, absolutely love it. Let's also kill them all off. And everybody sieged. Now we can piece out people. That you go. These guys first. Nice. Now we can piece out the war leader in that war, which is this nation, and they don't have any more provinces except the ones that I just took now. And in the second war, we'll do exactly the same thing. Take these guys first that are not the main target, and the main target right after them. Oh hey, surprisingly, the main target has a claim on my land. Well, guess what? My land is not for sale, sir. I'm gonna continue to colonize it. Thank you very much. Oh, actually, they still have a province here. Fair enough. Guess we're gonna have to kill you eventually, sir. Wow, both of our colonies finished at the same time. Unbelievable. That means that we can start colonizing more stuff. I'm gonna go with these areas here in Sulawesi while I'm waiting for the Australian lands to finish coring up. I also want to point out that look at how much money we get from selling titles. 3,000 ducats, and we just lose 10% of our crownlands. That is a great deal right there, and it means we can do a few more missions, but most importantly, we can improve our economy massively by just using the money we took from the estates. We also can do the same by building barracks and increasing the amount of manpower that we have overall in the country. So it's definitely worth selling the crownlands early game and using the money to boost up your economy for the long run. Also, remember that prosperity actually gives you a lot of extra mandate, and that means once your nation has prosperity around its provinces, it's going to be super easy to get 100 mandate. Let's also dev this up once so we lose the devastation. Well, look who's here. If it's not the nation of Bogantown. Hey! I'm just kidding. We're just going to properly name this country here and make it a self-governing colony, whilst we're also going to wait for the rest of this to finish colonizing before we do anything else. We got rebels. Oh no, we got to kill them off. Let's also continue exploring stuff, and we are going to be investing heavily in the lands of Australia by building everything in that area right now, as well as we're going to give them a ton of money so that maybe, just so maybe, they actually are going to start getting some troops take note, guys. Whatever technology you have once your colony is formed, that is the technology that your colony is going to start off with, as well as it's going to get expansion and plutocratic as its first two ideas. Use that to your advantage. At the start of the video, I did mention I'm going to get rid of the Celestial Empire, and as such, get rid of the Mandate of Heaven. And we're going to do that right now. So what we're going to first off do is we're going to start giving out provinces to our new Australian subject. That is correct. We're going to give them all of the provinces that we can give them, starting with the colonial provinces that we have adjacent to them and working our way from there. I'm going to fast forward a little bit with this, and I'm going to show you what exactly is going to happen. Before we pull the provinces out, we also need to change our capital to the smallest, most insignificant province that we have. In our case, that would be Huangzhou, and we've just done so. That means we can essentially give Australia all of the provinces that we have available except for our capital, of course. We've now given every single province that we have to our beloved colonial nation of South China real estate, and the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna delete all of our fleets here, and we're gonna abandon whatever colonies we might have that are not yet finished. You can also sell some of your fleet to the colonial nation, but they're not gonna accept all of the fleets, just some of them that they might have some interest in. So most likely you're going to have to delete most of your fleets here. When it comes to the armies, you want to do about the same thing. You want to start deleting your armies. And if you have any available vassals, do not cancel the vassalage if you haven't integrated them yet. Keep them as your vassals. What we're going to really do, however, is we're going to send all of our money to the colonial nation. You can do this as a gift, essentially. Send all the available money that you have. Nice. Now we're going to go back to this screen and we're going to click on release one of your colonial nations. Click on the nation of South China. Make sure you click this button here. It's going to be a little bit hard to notice because of all the provinces, but make sure you click that button and then send. Now we are the nation of South China real estate, and our capital is in Australia, but we have all of China. And guess what? After my truce is over with Ming, I can attack them, and if they still have their vassal, I can take their vassal as my vassal. If they don't have the vassal, that is a-okay, not a big deal. Now we gotta choose between monarchies or republics. We do not possess the Mandate of Heaven, and do take note that you're gonna have to rebuild your armies, as well as you're gonna have to fully state all of the provinces you got from Ming, as they're not gonna be full states, and until you do fully state these, you're not gonna get all of the benefits from these provinces. Because South China is not an endgame tag, we also can form the nation of Australia once we get Admin Tech 10, which is in a few years, or even the nation of Zealandia, or whatever other nation we want to form. If you want to see what happens in the future, leave a like, 5,000 likes, and we'll continue this run. And I highly recommend you check out the video on the screen right now, as it will equally expand your horizons in EU4. I also want to give a very special thank you to all of my patrons and channel members, as well as my Twitch subscribers. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support. I wouldn't be able to make these videos without you.